gains to custom enhancements, we deliver results. Late model Racecraft. We talking or we racing?
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Behind me, all the way from Michigan, Mr. Hoffman sent us his beautiful 2022 ZL1. Again, most of our customers are just weekend toys to play with, not daily drivers. Some are daily drivers. And in this case, he wanted a car that he could drive during the week if he wanted to, but also load up, drive to a drag strip, run this thing quarter mile, and drive it home. So behind me, Mr. Hoffman's freshly built 1,000 horsepower package, all utilizing the factory supercharger. Let me show you under the hood. All right, guys, so a lot goes into this package. There is a lot of things we have to do to keep this thing reliable while daily driving it and racing as much as possible. Obviously, with racing, anything can happen with these cars mechanically, but we do everything we can in our power to refrain and to keep it from breaking. So 1,000 horsepower package, guys. First thing, you pop the hood, you see the nice billet supercharger lid. We take the 1.7 liter supercharger off. Our buddy Kong, Mr. Greg over there, he ports the complete supercharger for us. They call it the X port. I call it a race port for the supercharger. We pull the engine out of this thing. We do our complete cam package, like a heads cam package, custom grind cam, all new lifters, cylinder heads get completely redone, valve springs, retainers, keepers, lock seals, hardened push rods, the whole 9 yards. Then when it comes to the blower speed, which is the big thing. When we port the superchargers, to get maximum power out of it with the export, we have to spin the supercharger harder than we do any 1.7 liter superchargers we do. So we do have a large, lower ATI balancer on it, as well as a small supercharger pulley up top. This thing right here is roughly 16 pounds of boost. A lot of our other, I'll call it like 850 packages that don't have the ported blower, we'll keep the boost around 13 or 14 pounds of boost. Again, to utilize the airflow, when he opens up the supercharger so much, we really got to spin that blower hard to get the boost and get the horsepower we need for these kind of levels to be over 1,000 flywheel horsepower. As always, guys, American Racing header, so it's a stainless steel header all the way back to a stock muffler system, so he still has the factory dual mode. He can make it quiet or loud when he's driving down the street or the track. Again, just looking at under the hood, so we always have the RotoFab cold air intake. Another thing, guys, when we start making boosts, even our 850 package, we always recommend a breather system. And what that does, guys, it relieves crankcase pressure. When you start adding more boost over factory than what these cars came with, you want to relieve the crankcase pressure. If not, you have a chance of pushing a front main seal, a rear main seal, and those headaches you just don't want to deal with. So most of our 850 horsepower packages and up, we include a breather system as well. But Mr. Hoffman didn't want just our normal 1,000 horsepower package, because he's not just going to be cruising this on a Saturday night and just having fun. He wants to actually go to the drag strip, do burnouts, and actually race it. So going to the back of the car, you really can't see much, but just from the outside, we sold him some weld wheels on the back. You can see it's a beadlock wheel. In my opinion, they look absolutely beautiful. And then we put a Mickey Thompson 305 4517. So a 17-inch wheel is the smallest wheel you can get without having to modify the brake calipers or anything like that, or a spindle. So if you do a 15-inch wheel conversion, we have to change the brakes and the spindle to get it to clear. But for this horsepower level, on a good prep track, the way we have this thing tuned, he can start off in second gear for a second gear leave, and traction should not be a problem. So going from that, if we left everything else alone, there's a chance we can start breaking drivetrain components. So Mr. Hoffman, we went ahead and upgraded we upgraded the drive shaft, we upgraded the CV axles, as well as all the suspension in the back, like when it comes to the lower control arms and all the A-arms on each side. They have adjustable ones. These things from the factory, they flex really bad. when you start making this kind of power, and the cars want to track kind of left and right. After we get done with the suspension, it makes it really solid, and when you get on it, the car wants to track straight. It helps with traction, and also it helps, we don't want the car to break. Mr. Hoffman's all the way back in Michigan. Last thing we want is him to go to the drag strip. The first pass he makes, he breaks a drive shaft or a CV axle. If you take off and it wheel hops really bad, the first thing he's gonna do is break a drive shaft, or sorry, a CV axle or a drive shaft. So we pretty much did everything we could to this car to keep it as bulletproof as possible. But like I said earlier, in racing, shit happens, stuff can still break, don't get me wrong, but we did our part in installing the best parts that they have for these vehicles. So I'm gonna hop in it now, and I'm gonna try to get some roll, I'll try to do some second and third gear roll action shots for you guys, let y'all know what it does. On a non-prepped track, let's call it right now, it'd kind of be hard for me to do it from a dig. So I'm gonna hop in it and make some roll passes, let you guys hear what this thing will do. I'll even try to get a 60 to 130 time in it so y'all can see what it does. Even, it is the heat of the day here. It's right around 4 o'clock. So the conditions aren't the best, but we'll show you what it'll do. The temps will be a lot better in Michigan, but we'll get the idea. All right, before I hop in it and drive it, I forgot one other thing. I was looking at the breather. I forgot to mention fueling. Our 1,000 horsepower package, our 850 package, sorry, let me start with air, comes with a flex fuel package, means you can run 93 octane or E85. Well, when we go to a 1,000 horsepower package and we port the supercharger, we still run a flex fuel, so he can run 93 or E85. The only difference is we run out of fuel system. The factory DI injectors and the factory mechanical fuel pump cannot keep up with this kind of horsepower level. So we have to upgrade to a bigger mechanical fuel pump and a larger DI injector, as well as a low side fuel system, which does come standard in our 850 package. So two things that are different between the 850 and this package are the larger mechanical fuel pump and the larger DI injectors, which again, this car, I think it ended up laying down almost 870 rear wheel horsepower on our hub dyno. So it's well over 1,000 flywheel horsepower, and a car that you can hop in and drive every day with cold blowing AC. It's phenomenal. And then if he does want to go on a road trip, he can put 93 octane in it and just cruise and absolutely enjoy it. So again, let me hop in it now and go have some fun. gear roll. I think that was a solid mid 5 second, 60 to 130. That felt good. And guys, we are in the worst heat of the day. It is almost 4 o'clock here. The DA is absolutely horrible and it's hot as hell right now. You know what, let me pull over and save that real quick. Let's see here. Damn, that felt fucking good. Oh yeah, 5.48, baby. Not bad in this crappy weather. I will take it. 5 point, let me upload that, save this. Yeah, 5.48, 60 to 130. This thing's gonna run great at the drag strip, especially with better conditions. Air temps. Yeah, they do get hot by the end of the pool, but again, these are horrible conditions. But everything still looks good. It still ran that fast. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, better conditions. This thing's gonna go low 5s. Pretty easy. That was a 3rd gear roll. I'm gonna do another lap, and just for the hell of it, with these wheels and tires on it, we're gonna do 2nd gear and see how she works. I'm leaving traction control on, no sense in risking anything, even with these wheels and tires on it. Now when he goes to the drag strip, obviously the customer will turn the traction control off, and with these wheels and tires on it, he'll be fine. But for just cruising and what we're doing right now, there's no sense in me doing anything crazy. This thing. I know we got him some Toyos for his street wheels. Those will hook up only from higher rolls. He's gonna need these tires on it when he actually wants to do what I just did right there. 2nd gear, even with traction control on, you can feel it skating on the 2 to 3 shift. This thing runs great. I'm gonna pull over and save these logs, look everything over, and try to get maybe 1 or 2 more good action shots for you guys. But to have a car like this that runs as fast as it does, sounds as good as it does, and still drive phenomenal, it's just really hard to beat these cars in this package that we do. Even with the factory supercharger, it's only a 1.7 liter supercharger, but with that export that we do from Greg, with all the other supporting mods, with E85 in this thing, we are running, I think the ethanol content is like 60% right now. It's tremendous how much horsepower this thing makes with that little blower and how quick this car runs. It is absolutely incredible. Save this real quick.
30. 30.
Second gear, traction control on. It's trying to spin really good right there. Even with these tires on it, again, traction control off, it would have hazed them pretty good, but traction control's saving us and keeping us in the lane nice and smooth. With all the suspension done to the car, it makes it so much easier to drive. These cars with stock suspension, it flexes really bad, and they're just harder to, they don't track straight, is the best way to describe it. The V3s and the ZL1s, again, with the factory suspension, we do them all the time that make, 800 horsepower, 850 horsepower packages. But once we start getting to this level of 850 rear wheel horsepower plus, so over 1,000 flywheel horsepower, to try to keep it in your lane nice and safe with tires on it, we always recommend upgrading the suspension, not only just for reliability reasons, but also it does make it feel safer to drive, because then we can do the alignment and get everything really track ready for you, whether you're racing it or just street driving it, to make sure that everything is 100%. But man, she feels great. Like I said, I'm gonna pull over, I'll save that log, and man, maybe do one or two more. But again, this thing's gonna go all the way back to Michigan. The weather will be a lot better there than it is here. I know Mr. Hoffman's gonna enjoy this thing. He's gonna have to get used to it, get his hands full at first, but he'll get used to it and he'll have fun with it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Got some action shots in it. Again, once the weather gets a little bit better here, we'll start going to the drag strip more to test some of these vehicles, show you guys what these things can do at an 1/8 mile strip, or even a 1/4 mile drag strip, or even a road course. But for now, we're having fun doing what we normally do. So guys, comment below, let me know what you think about this video. As always, I appreciate everyone watching, and I do appreciate y'all commenting and people that just watch the channel just to watch it, whether you have cars or do not at home. If you have any questions, please comment below. Until next time, guys.